I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. AJ Godsey and the Mark Nelson on the front row. David Gorman and Rick Sargent on the second. Jeff Hinkle, Aaron Mason on the third row. Michael Dow and Mark Dantuma have the fourth. Gerald Poole and Donald Durant's round out the top 10. Wild Bill Percy was scheduled to start in 11th, but Wild Bill did not take to the grid. I do know Wild Bill was having connection issues. Hopefully he will be able to start from pit road and get in the fight quickly. Pace car will lead him around one more time. Can anybody stomp AJ Godsey on the short track? Mark Nelson or one of these drivers is going to have to clear him quickly and keep him behind. AJ rather, is next to impossible to beat on a short track. Can anybody else get it done? Let's find out. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. They are down and away at Richmond. AJ Godsey quickly clears Mark Nelson into the lead. Rick Sargent kisses the wall. AJ Godsey leads lap number 1. Jeff Hinkle looks underneath Rick Sargent, moving up into 4th. Mark Dantuma on the march as well. New paint scheme tonight for Mark in that Chevy. Mark up 2 spots into 6th. Mark Nelson, though, has the fastest lap of the race so far in 2nd. Rick Sargent way up the track. Rick is falling like a rock. Does not look like Rick's car has any significant damage. May have just gotten, whoa! Michael down. Looked like he got loose in the middle of 1 and 2. Went up the track. Thanos gets by. Gerald Thanos Poole now up into 8th. Now slips back to 9th. David Gorman set the fast lap last time by as the top 3 close up. And Jeff Hinkle on his way. Caution is out. Caution is out for the first time tonight. Mark Dantuma is in it. Dantuma had been on the move since the drop of the green. Let's see what happened. Dantuma across the start-finish line, down the front straightaway into turn 1. Looks like it just got a little loose. Rick Sargent nowhere to go. Dan Tuma does manage to limp it back to pit road. Taking a look down from the blimp. Donald Durant's back behind, just scoots by. Rick Sargent, though, coming through, sees the car get loose. Looked like Dan Tuma was going to go low. He held his line, and Dan Tuma comes back up. AJ Gotze still has the lead. D. Mark Nelson in second. Garmin in third. Hinkle in fourth. Aaron Mason now up into fifth. Gerald Thanos Poole in sixth. Mark Dantuma has now slipped back into 10th after going to pit road for repairs. Rick Sargent heavily damaged but is staying out. Bit of a surprise to see Rick staying out here. That aero damage on Rick's car is liable to cause a few problems. Aero is not huge on a short track, but the speeds they run here at Richmond, it is going to be a factor. Lights are out on the pace car. They stack back up side by side. And what do you say we have a little fun here in the early going? Races at Richmond do tend to go green for long periods of time. Let's take the opportunity and crank it up, everybody. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. Crank it up, y'all. And what could be more fun than listening to all that horsepower charging around the track? AJ Gotze, Mark Nelson, David Garmin still pretty much nose to tail. Jeff Hinkle holds on to fourth. Aaron right behind him in fifth. Gerald Poole now 3 spots into sixth. Double D right behind in seventh. Mark Dantuma on the attack, regaining the ground he lost, is back up into 8th. Hey, good evening, Kyle. Great start so far. Top 3 starting to pull a little bit of a gap on 4th place, Jeff Hinkle. Hinkle trying to close back in. Gerald Poole closing up on Aaron. Mark Dantuma. Whoa, Gerald went way high into 3. Mark Dantuma back up into 7th as he tries to fight his way back up toward the front after the earlier incident. Now, we did mention a competition caution at lap 46. The drivers will have enough fuel to go to the finish from there. The question is, how good will the tires be? If they go green flag from there to the finish, man, things will get interesting. Wild Bill was scheduled to start tonight, did not make it. Did not start from pit road. Trying to get an update on his situation. The top 3 have pulled a big gap. 2.3 seconds on 4th place Jeff Hinkle, 5th place Aaron Mason, Gerald Poole, and now Mark Dantuma. Thanos looks under Aaron into 3. Whoa! That gets a little bit close through 3 and 4. Back down into turn 1. Looks like Aaron went a little deep and took the position back. Hey, good evening, Wolf. Rick Surgeon has had a problem. He towed to pit road. There will not be a caution. Whoa, Rick, let's see if we can get a little further back. Rick had already lost a lap. That damage from the earlier incident causing significant problems. It does look like the car is just not handling right at all. And he got to the apron, got it sideways, ended up pulling it down to the apron and pulled it to pit road. A rough start to the night for Rick. Aaron Mason looks under Jeff Hinkle. He's trying to take 4th. Mark Dantuma now up in the battle. Whoa, it gets close through 3 and 4. Hinkle holds on to the spot. Now Dantuma looks to the high side on Aaron down the backstretch. Aaron pushes up just a little bit mid-turn. Mark able to use the high line momentum. Dantuma back to 5th. Hinkle still able to hold on to 4th for the moment. Gerald Poole was able to follow Dantuma through. He takes 6th. Aaron trying to fight back to the bottom. Aaron's got a bit of a run out of 2. But Thanos pulls back. Oh! Aaron, major push. Gerald gathers it up and saves it. Take another look at this battle. Aaron down underneath through 1 and 2. Gerald able to power it off turn 2 down the back straightaway. Gerald comes down. Oh! Aaron pushes up. Gerald gets bumped into the wall, but ends up saving it. While the battling goes on, back behind AJ Godsey, Mark Nelson, and David Garman are running away. Oh, it sounds like Aaron may have locked him up just a little bit. Sent him shooting up the track. They will have a comp caution here in a few minutes to get everything back together again. Mark Dantuma just took 4th from Hinkle. Now, Kevin, that was an awesome save. Mark Nelson somehow able to stay in the tire tracks of AJ Godsey. This is not something we have seen very many times on a short track. Jeff Hinkle trying to hang with Dan Tuma. Dan Tuma, remember, was involved in that first caution. Went all the way back to 10th and has now fought his way back toward the front. Rick Sargent officially out of the race. Update on Wild Bill. Apparently his connection problems kept him from racing tonight. Hopefully we will see him back later tonight for the SMR Racing League or next Sunday night for BRR. Donald Durant's back in 9th place, trying to hold on to the lead lap after some problems earlier set him back. Just holding on until the pit stop get 4 fresh tires and fuel. See what he can do from there. We also saw Michael Dow go way up the track a few laps ago through 1 and 2. Dow just trying to hold on till the comp caution. Aaron Mason, after that incident with Thanos, holding on as well. Everybody at this point settles into a rhythm for another lap. That call, AJ way loose out of 2. He is sideways. And kept it out of the wall. Holy cow. He is going to lose a lot of track position. The comp caution will save AJ here in a moment. Mark Nelson now has the lead. We should get the caution any moment. Correction, we'll see it at lap 46. We'll take another look at AJ's incident under the comp caution. I do not remember the last time I saw AJ Godsey make a mistake on a short track. He drops back to 5th, but don't count him out yet. Now the comp caution flies. All right, while they are making... Yeah, he did miss the wall. While they are making their stops, we'll take a look at AJ's incident a moment ago. There's AJ, comes out of turn 2, just snaps loose, almost saved it. Close call with that inside wall. Take a look from the blimp and we'll see just how close he got to that inside wall. Whoa, he was close. Great save by AJ. All the drivers are on pit road. Rick Sargent, Wild Bill out of the race. Mark Nelson comes off with the lead. And let's see if we can get a word with AJ. AJ, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Doug. Go ahead.
I cannot remember the last time I saw you make a mistake on a short track. What happened?
I was trying to open a beer.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah, I did spill it. I didn't spill it, so
Well,
that's what mattered.
Yeah, all good there. Now you got to fight your way back. You've got an open beer. Can you make it to the front with that?
That's the plan. I mean, got to make it a little exciting here, so we'll see.
Well, man, congratulations on getting the beer open and good luck, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Dougie.
Well, that explains that. Oh, my goodness. Mark Nelson now has the lead. Garmin in second. Hinkle in third. Dan Tuma fourth. AJ back in fifth. Aaron Mason, Donald Durant's Michael Dow, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Gerald Poole is still on pit road. Gerald may have just called it a night. Gerald Poole is out of the race. Wow. What a turn of events here tonight. Well, things are definitely getting interesting out here tonight. Wow. Lights are out as they stack back up for the restart after the comp caution. Mark Nelson in control. That was a bit of a surprise, Kyle. Pace car is in. The Mark Nelson in control. Green flag back in the air. Mark quickly into the lead. Opens the door for Hinkle to look underneath Garmin, but couldn't get there. Dantuma looks to the high side. Mark Dantuma to third. Hinkle slow on the bottom. Something is wrong with Jeff's car. Jeff just dropped 2 spots. Oh! A lot of cars in the wall. Caution, back out. Only our second racing caution of the night. Donald Durant's Mark Dantuma involved. There's Donald Durant's headed off into 1. When he gets on the brakes, the back end slips loose. Mark Dantuma gets loose at the exit of turn 2. And Michael Dow got a piece of it as well. Dow just barely clips Durant. Gets sideways, backs it a little bit into the wall, but quickly recovers. Well, this thing just keeps getting more and more interesting. Mark Dantuma has been to a pit road for repairs. Donald Durant is on his way in for repairs. Kyle, that was quite a show. Mark Nelson continues to lead with Garmin on his bumper. Hinkle back, or AJ now up to third. Hinkle in fourth. Aaron Mason in fifth. Michael Dow stays out, holds on to sixth. Dantuma in seventh, and Durant back out on track in eighth. Durant does manage to stay on the lead lap. Don't forget, folks, shortly after this race, we will be back live with the SMR Racing League's Gen 4 series. Those old school cup cars from the early 2000s. Man, it's going to be a lot of fun. Lights are out on the pace car. Did I mention the Gen 4s are at Daytona tonight? Lights are out. Everybody stacked back up. Ready to go. Mark Nelson will be in control of the restart. Hopefully Jeff Finkel has addressed whatever was wrong on his restart. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. Nelson gets another perfect launch. AJ already on the attack, looks underneath Gourmet. Down the back straightaway, AJ now to second place. Garmin in third. Dan Tuma already marching his way back toward the front. He is back in sixth, closing the gap on fifth place. Aaron Mason, Mark Nelson just set the fastest lap of the race. AJ Gotzi just millimeters off the wall using every single bit of this track. That's why he is one of the best short track drivers out there. Jeff Finkel, the king of tire saving, does look like whatever was wrong with the car early on has been addressed. He is up to speed, trying to pull away from Aaron Mason. Aaron's still about a half second back. Michael Dow, despite being caught up in that incident that brought out the last caution, does not appear to have any significant damage. He is just trying to keep Double D, Donald Durant, in his mirror at the moment. Michael Dow is going to have a great points night here tonight. A rough start to the season has Dow back in 19th. He is going to make up a lot of ground with Eric Stoy, DP Riggins, Mike Smith, Kevin Reed, and Albie Ewens not here. And I am seeing it. I'm finding it hard to believe. Mark Nelson has pulled a gap on AJ Gotzi of over 1.25 seconds. AJ Gotzi in second, 1.3 seconds back. Garmin still holds on to third. Dan Tuma now up into fourth. Jeff Hinkle back in fifth. Aaron Mason in sixth. Michael Dow in seventh. Donald Durant's in eighth. Gerald Poole, Rick Sargent Wild Bill all out early. Halfway through the race, everybody can go the distance to the end on fuel. Aaron Mason trying to find his way. Gonna back this up because I thought I saw something out of the corner of my eye on the backstretch. Indeed. Donald Durant comes through 1 and 2 out of turn 2. The back end steps out. He's hard on the brakes, but still hard hit into the inside wall. He keeps the car rolling despite heavy damage. Kevin, I have to wonder about that myself. Mark has done really well this season, keeping that car in one piece and not destroying the tires. But man, you've got to be pushing it hard to pull away from AJ on a short track. Mark Dantuma in fourth is closing in on David Garmin in third. Garmin just 2.1 seconds ahead. Donald Durant still going. He was right on Michael Dow's bumper, but lost some ground, obviously. Now right behind Aaron Mason. Aaron right there with Jeff Hinkle. That is 5th, 6th, and 7th. Mark Dantuma in 4th. Closing in on 3rd place, David Garmin. AJ has a bit of a gap on Garmin now. And Mark Nelson now out front by 1.5 seconds. And the Mark Nelson has Kevin Reed in his cheering section tonight. I'd be willing to bet before this one is over, the Unicorn comes and cheers on the Mark Nelson as well. Mark Dantuma slowly but steadily closing in on Garmin. The gap about 2 seconds at the moment. Jeff Hinkle, Aaron Mason, Michael Dow, still all three within striking distance of each other. Dow going way up the track through 1 and 2. Looks like he is trying to find a faster way through the turn. Starting to see the tires falling off just a little bit. An average of about half a second a lap for most drivers. Mark Nelson's fastest lap of 22.44. Last time by 23.05. AJ Godsey's fastest lap of 22.54. Last time by 23.11. And you can see those lap times. Mark's lead still holding a steady 1.5 seconds on AJ. Gourmets still trying to close that 2.5 second gap on AJ. Mark Dantuma has lost some ground on Garmin. He was down to about 1.9 seconds. He has now dropped about 2.5 seconds back. Jeff Hinkle in 5th, unable to pull away from Aaron Mason. Surprising to see Hinkle not moving forward now that they have been out there for a few laps. Most of this field was in on lap 47. Donald Durance finally has come to pit road. Definitely surprised he waited as long as he has. Mark Dantuma appears to have found some speed yet again. He is back to only 2.1 seconds behind Gourmet. Last time by a 1/4 second faster. AJ chopping away just a little bit at Mark Nelson's lead. As they come through 3 and 4, we'll see what the gap is at the line. It is still 1.6 seconds. Seems like AJ a little bit faster on corner entry, but Nelson pulls away on exit. Durant still sits on pit road. Durant's now on his way back out. Oh, a little bit of a blink out of Mark Nelson. Garmin back in 3rd, Dantuma in 4th, is closed back within 2 seconds. Now has a lap car of Donald Durance right in front of him. Might be able to use a little bit of draft. Looking at the speeds, and yeah, Dantuma was able to use a little bit of draft to pick up just a little bit of momentum on Garmin. You see the speeds they are running. Down the back straightaway, Dantuma to 5th gear. See what kind of speeds he is getting. Saw about 130. 143 miles an hour on the front straightaway. Some really good speeds on a 3/4 of a mile track. Mark Nelson's lead over AJ Godsey still holds at about 1.5 seconds. Glowing rotors, definitely worth mentioning. Thank you, Kevin. You'll see as they get on the brakes, those rotors are glowing extremely, extremely red. And especially those on AJ, as AJ has just started closing in on the leader. The gap now down to 1.2. Does AJ have enough left? Has he conserved enough to run down Mark, and does he have enough left to pass if he gets there? Dan Tuma still sits about 2 seconds behind Garmin. Hinkle about 8 seconds back has pulled a 2.1 second gap on Mason. Mason now almost 3 seconds ahead of Michael Dow in 7th. Donald Durant sticking it out, currently in 8th, several laps down. However, this likely to be a great points night for Durant. Not what he needed tonight, though. He came in tonight 4th in points. He's got about a 25-point gap on Aaron Mason, but he needs Mason to be in his mirror instead of several laps ahead. Mark Nelson coming into some lap traffic. Goes by Michael Dow. Aaron Mason is coming to pit road. AJ Godsey now less than a second behind the leader. I do believe Kevin Reed is correct. It does look like Dan Tuma might have the reddest brake rotors out there. He is definitely working that Chevy hard. Aaron Mason on his way back off pit road. Mark Nelson's lead shrinking, now just 9/10 of a second. Now the question becomes, does Nelson have enough to hold off AJ? Or has AJ been conserving this entire run? Aaron Mason is coming back to pit road. Aaron has had a huge problem. There's Aaron coming through 3 and 4. Let's see what happened after Aaron left pit road. Coming off turn 2, out onto the back straightaway, off into turn 3. Trying to get it up to speed, fresh tires under the car. Loose out of 2, and one heck of a hard hit to the inside wall. Holy cow. Aaron limps it back to pit road. Ouch. Speaking of ouch, AJ Godsey has caught up to Mark Nelson. Down the back straightaway, still managing to hold AJ behind him for a moment, but with about 26, 27 laps to go. How long can Mark keep AJ behind him? Or will AJ give a little rattle his cage move to get to the lead? Aaron Mason is back out on track. He has used a fast repair to get the car back to 100%. He still holds on to 7th, but is now a couple of laps down, and just set his fastest lap of the night. Kevin, sometimes it be like that. 24 laps to go. AJ looks under, out of turn 2, down the backstretch. AJ sends it deep into turn 3, takes the lead. Mark's gonna hang with him as long as possible. The lap car of Aaron Mason on fresh tires about to come flying by the top 2. You see the difference the fresh tires make on the short track here at Richmond. Drives it off so much further into turn 1, able to get back on the throttle earlier in turn 2. You have to wonder, with Aaron Mason's incident a moment ago, had he not had that problem on cold tires, as fast as he is looking, how much ground could he have made up? Kevin, as worn as some of these tires are on some of these drivers' car, a spin out of 2 is definitely possible. 20 laps to go at now 19 to go at Richmond. Aaron looks to the high side, big run, and goes past the leader to get one of his laps back. Mark Nelson unable to hang on to AJ has dropped back. He is almost 2 seconds behind. Gourmet, though, 5.5 seconds back in third. Mark D'Antuma, who was closing in, now 3 seconds back from Gourmet. And Jeff Hinkle back in fifth, almost 6 seconds back from D'Antuma. Next time by, it will be 15 laps to go. We will have a short break, but we will be back live shortly after 9:30 Eastern with the new SMR Gen 4. The new series starting tonight at Daytona. You guys definitely want to come back for that. A lot of familiar names have joined that league from a lot of the leagues that we broadcast. Even 1 or 2 names you recognize from BRR, like Mark D'Antuma. It's SMR. AJ Gottes's lead continuing to grow over Mark Nelson. Mark continuing to pull a little bit away from Gourmet. But last time by, Gourmet closed the gap a little bit. The gap now down to 3.8 seconds. Mark D'Antuma back in fourth. Jeff Hinkle in fifth has started finding some speed late in the run, but it appears to be too late. Ten laps to go for AJ. Now 9 to go. AJ Gotze conserved at the first part of this run. Obviously, that paid off dramatically. His lead now 5.25 seconds over Mark Nelson, who led the most laps here tonight. Gourmet is closing in on Nelson in a big way. Apparently he was conserving. The gap now down to 2.2. Hey, good evening, David. Double D had some problems earlier. He is back in 8. Mark Dantuma currently in 4th. David Gorman, though, is charging. Now 1.6 back from Mark Nelson. 5 laps to go at Richmond. Jason, it looks like you're going to be right. Mark in 2nd as Gourmet closing quickly. Will he be able to keep him in the mirror? Four to go. Gourmet just 1 second behind Nelson. Jeff Hinkle is closing rapidly on Dantuma. He is 2.7 back. Mark Nelson continues to hold 2nd, but for how much longer? Two laps to go for AJ Gauncey. He did not push it early, held on to a top 5 spot, had a problem after the competition caution while opening a beer, gathered it up, fought his way back to the lead, and now the white flag flies once again for AJ Gauncey. One more time around as David Gorman is taken 2nd. And out of turn 4, AJ Gauncey wins again. David Gorman pulls off a late race pass for 2nd place, and the Mark Nelson comes home in 3rd. Let's talk to our top 3, starting with Mark Nelson. Mark, one heck of a run and a dominant first half of this race. Did you just use it up too soon?
I don't know what happened, honestly, because I was running the exact same pace that AJ was running, and then all of a sudden, with about 25 laps to go, the car just wouldn't turn anymore, and I kind of baffled on it because I wasn't pushing that hard, and yeah, it never seems to fail. Either I don't have enough laps and I save the tires, or I have too many laps and I don't save the tires. I just can't do it right.
Well, man, still a great night, a great finish, a great points night as well. You'll continue the points lead. Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, Doug.
Mark Nelson coming home in 3rd. David Gorman, late race pass for 2nd. Garmin, it looked like you conserved for the right amount of time and hammered down when you needed to come home in 2nd.
Obviously, it wasn't enough to catch AJ.
I think the only way you could have caught AJ was fresh tires and nitrous.
Yeah, I'm really good on short runs, but long runs are just, I don't know. It's just hard, and especially this track. I hate it, so I'm glad it's over with. But yeah, we'll just move on, go to next week, see what happens.
Well, man, great job. Another great finish, buddy.
All right, thanks.
And finally, our winner, AJ Gauncey. AJ, shortly after the competition caution, there was a point where Mark was running away, and I made the comment that was such a rare thing for somebody to pull away from you. Now we see it was all strategy move, and when it counted, you had it left.
Yeah, I kind of figured the way the run's been going, we were going to go green to the end, so I wanted to keep the right rear on it, and I was just pacing myself, and slowly started coming back to me, and I think finally just wore them out.
I think the important question that we really need to ask is, after the competition caution, did you open any more beers?
I had one more, Doug. I successfully opened that one without losing control.
Well, that is the most important thing, man. Well, you definitely earned another one tonight. Go drink one, buddy, and congratulations.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Doug. Thanks for all you do for us.
My pleasure, man. AJ Godsey back in victory lane, a place he knows very well. He is the winningest driver in BRR history. Folks, don't forget to come back here in just about an hour for the first time ever, the SMR Racing League. Their Gen 4 series starts tonight at Daytona. Looking forward to seeing you all soon. Have a great night, everybody.